Hello, mister. Hello, Mr. Snoochie. Spend too much time in the Witchy Cottage with you today because most of you have seen it. It's all over my channel. Hello, Harry. So I'm going to do a proper desk tour of inside in my other desk. But this is the Witchy Cottage as it is now. I'm so excited because it's autumn now, and we've really turned a page, and he's a beautiful boy. Where's Beatrice, Harry? Yeah, so it's morning. I've been journaling here in the Witchy Cottage. So in summer I don't come in here as much because it's just so hot, and so it gets a bit neglected and a bit sad down here. But now we're back into autumn, and this is a glorious morning. We've had rain. The earth is damp and smells of eucalyptus really strongly, and so it's just beautiful to be down here early morning and do some journaling and pull some cards and just sit quietly. It's really, really lovely. So I'm excited. Yeah, so that's the Witchy Cottage as it is at the moment, and hooray, hurrah! back to being in use again. All right, I'm going to go up to the house and photograph in my office. Office sounds so official, doesn't it? In my desk. Okay. So I'll take you out to the section where my studio is and my desk, my sort of workman's desk. It's in this back room that's kind of like a tack on to the back of our house. I don't know when it was built. The house was built in the 1920s in Melbourne and then trucked into our little country town in the 1950s. So this little breezeway here, I don't know whether it came on the back of the truck as well or whether they built it onto the back of the house when the house actually got relocated. But you know, in the 50s they did a lot of this, didn't they? Putting these little, they used to call them sunrooms, I think, on the back of houses. You can see that's the actual back window, that's the kitchen window there, and through that curtain at the end there's another toilet and bathroom, and then out there is the backyard and the back veranda. So this little room here, if you can see it on the outside, it's partly weatherboard and partly tin. So it has a little strange step that you step down into it. It's got workman's awning tape on it. It's been there forever. I don't have a door, just an IKEA curtain. It's all very makeshift in lots of ways. But this is my studio. This is where I run my little business from, my online business, where I teach creative writing and support other creators. And also life coaching. I do all my coaching calls and stuff in here and write books in here. But I'm not writing books at the moment. I'm seeing myself actually as at the moment I like to call myself a recovering author. I might start writing again in a few years' time, but for now I am actually not writing anymore. I've hung up my typewriter and I'm focusing on other things. So this wall has got, you know, lots of little bits of art that people have given me over the years, illustrators who've illustrated my work. That's one of my characters there, Pugsley, and all sorts of things. So that's, you know, that I bought those two things overseas in Scotland. I need to have them framed, and there's other artwork from my books. This is from my very, very first book. That's Winnie and Karen. I love this image. And this one down here is from the same book. So I feel like I really want to say all the illustrators' names, but I also don't, because I know that that's not what this is about. And I don't know, I just sort of stand here naming all these people and it would be very, very weird. So Mitch Bain, Lisa Coots, Gus Gordon, Claire Robinson. See, I can't help myself. I knew Sandra Aterovic, who's sadly passed away. Very sadly passed away. Did that one? That's not from one of my books. That's just a piece of art. So anyway, that is a glimpse of one end of the studio. This is my coaching manuals from Beautiful You Life Coaching, where I studied life coaching, and I still use the manuals all the time, of course, when I'm working with clients. And that's my workbook that's got all my own, all my own journaling and stuff to do with all the course materials. You have to do a whole lot of self-reflection when you're training to be a life coach, of course. I love those journals. They're just so my cup of tea. Like big, hefty, lots and lots of words. What else can I show you? This cabinet has a very annoying door, but anyway, that's just got art materials in it. It's all a bit trashed. It's all a bit sort of just stuffed in, but yeah, I use all them. Pencils in there, pastels in there, beautiful lady there, L'Occitane box from Christmas. My stepson is fluent in French and has spent a lot of time in France, so he's always buying me L'Occitane products and teaching me French words. He's very sweet. And what else? That's a candle from this morning. I was doing a live call with my membership club, my creators in there, and I was burning incense and an orange candle for creativity. These beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stands, oracle card stands that one of my members gave me. She makes them. I don't know if she's selling them at the moment, so I won't say her name just for privacy, but if she ever is selling them online, I will definitely link to her, because her work's beautiful. That's another one, a single card. They're beautiful. So, and this card, Integration, Origin, these are, of course, a lot of you will know this deck. This is from Mags, the Woodland Hag. I'm not sure what name she's going under now, but she did this sort of indie deck of tree images. It's an extraordinary deck, and I think it's actually available again. You can buy it, so I'll see if I can find a link and put that down the bottom. But they're really, really fantastic images that she's done, and it's a really great deck. That's a leftover from this morning. We had a full moon. I did a full moon reading in our creativity group. Every month I do a live reading in the Facebook group. Full moon. God, I'm a bit brain dead actually. And so I do 3 cards and a wild card, and that's always a lot of fun. And I'm obsessed with selenite. Seriously, I cannot get enough selenite. That's a selenite tower. I can't remember what this is. You'll know. Is it citrine? I'm not sure. So there's a few decks in here. Mostly these decks are ones that I just use with my clients, with my life coaching clients, and also with my membership. You are so cute today. I just love typos. They make me laugh. They're so sweet. You are very much today. Okay, that's a message from me to you. You're watching this. You are very much today. Yeah. Anyway, what have I got? This is really funny. This is my little bag of sweary affirmations. One of my clients sent this to me, and it's just so gorgeous. One of my creativity clients sent it. Not loving myself is total bullshit, and so on and so forth. My future is a golden sparkling explosion of fucking awesomeness. They're all like that. Lots of sweary stuff in that little tiny little cards. They're really, really cute. What else? Of course, the latest calendar from Spellbox in Melbourne. Beautiful witchy calendar that I buy every single year, and I always make a special train trip and go down to Melbourne and pick up my calendar, and it's a Southern Hemisphere calendar, and also my moon chart. I buy that every year. I could buy it online, but I go on the train because it's more fun. Yeah. Books. Loads and loads of books. This is the Gaia, Dreams of Gaia Tarot that I've sort of been playing with a bit more since it was mentioned on, Madwitch mentioned it on her channel, and I decided to go back and have another play with it because it had overwhelmed me when I first bought it. But because it's a different system to Rider-Waite, and I'm just still, wrapping my head around Rider-Waite, I didn't want to distract myself too much. But anyway, I'm having a little play with it now. Down here is more books down here. This end these are all books that I have written over the years, and this is just where I store my gratis copies, and I have quite a few more gratis copies at the moment because one of my series, the Truly Tan series, which is an 8-book series, was re-released in January this year, 2023. So I'm sort of a bit overwhelmed with boxes. There's a HarperCollins box down there, boxes of free books, which will, of course, be chipped away at and given away over the next year or so. But yeah, I just store my own gratis copies in here mostly. I have CDs as well. Some of my books have been made into talking books, and I store them in a different spot. And then I've got other books along here, and they're all like, mostly these ones are, she says mostly these ones are to do with work here and like with creative writing and stuff. But, Call the Midwife goes in there, doesn't she? Call the Midwife goes in there along with the deep work. That can go in there as well. The Artist's Way can go down here with some Kathy Cassidy tweeny novels and a bit of 4,000 Weeks. It's just all a bit of a schmozzle, really. The way that I store my books is a very good indication of how my brain works, which is extremely laterally, and categorizing things is not one of my strong points, but nor is it one of my interests. This is beautiful. This is a storyboard of that film, that Neil Gaiman film, Mirror Mask. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's an extraordinary film, very strange, and it's got one of the most amazing scenes in it of there's a sort of a musical interlude where they do a rendition of Karen Carpenter singing Closer to You, and it's these robots, these really weird robots sort of swaying around. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the film. And they're mesmerising the girl as they change her from an everyday girl into a queen, an evil queen. Yeah, they kind of look a bit like that. They've got these really long swaying necks, these robots, and they're gold. Anyway, that's a very, very cool book that I found on a chuck-out table once in the city, and I really like it. The Artist's Way, which is a lot of my teachings when I work with creative people, are based on Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. Sorry, I got my legs tangled up in my frock, and what else have I got here? Brewer's Dictionary of Phrase and Fable, which is a cool book, how to draw everything. Ken Robinson, who was a hero of mine, of course, and his, the way he teaches about education and having to uneducate ourselves to become artists. What else have I got here that I wanted to show you? This is kind of fun, isn't it? Down here I've got, this is a project that I work on now and then. I'm not an illustrator and I never will be an illustrator, but I love doing art, and I love illustrating stories, and I come up with story ideas, and then I like to workshop them a bit and sort of play around with mixed media and make spreads, and also flesh out different characters who are popping up in my stories. And this is actually, I'm storyboarding a story that was rejected by my publisher, and I still really like the story, and so I'm just playing with it. It's just a project. I just want to make my own little picture book, and often on a Sunday afternoon I will just put on the soundtrack from Stranger Things, which is very creepy and very weird music, and I love it. It really puts me into a creative zone, and I'll just sit and make and paint spreads from that picture book, and just play more deeply with the characters and learn about palettes and perspective and all the things that interest me. So that's a project. That's I don't do much witchy art. I do a little bit of goddess artwork and stuff, which I really love, but my magic comes through in the way it wants to come through, and it comes through with little characters and little people and little fictions, little short stories and all that sort of stuff. I was laughing the other day because I was looking here. I thought, that'd be right. That'd be me, Brene Brown next to Millie Molly Mandy. It says a lot about how my brain organises itself, or doesn't. This was an amazing picture book. It's a wordless picture book. It's Chinese, and my son's girlfriend was studying in China, and she bought this for me. It's about a man who finds a cat and takes it home, but and just falls in love with the cat. But the cat is actually, it's some kind of angel. I think the book is all, because I can't read it and I don't want to Google it because I just want to enjoy the images and what my intuition tells me. I think it's a book about loneliness. And about those little moments and the angels amongst us that are sent to relieve our solitude and our loneliness. Sorry, this is terrible camera work. If you're still with me, I'm really grateful. So Violet is often in the Witchy Cottage, but she's come down to the studio for a while now because that's how audacious Violet is. That's artwork by an artist called Asphyxia, who is an incredible Australian mixed media artist. I love her work. I love their work. I think if Asphyxia uses that pronoun. Just my pin-up board, again, me drawing rabbits, obsessed with rabbits, a bit obsessed with bus stops too. There's something romantic about them. Anyway, I love this little witch and her rabbit, and I feel like there's much more of a story to it, but I haven't fleshed that out yet. I just drew that with an ink pen and pencil. The Swedish chef, he helps me teach creative writing. Another little character who I really like, who I drew and who is looking for a story. And also this little cheeky one, she's also looking for a story. So yeah, more rabbits, this time stuffed rabbits. And then if you turn around, bright eyes, and then you look and you see that this side of the room is so sadly neglected. And this is where I work, this is where I do live calls, and my intention is to put a whole heap of shelves up here so that I can bring more books and more pretties across to this side of the room, but I just haven't done it yet. And I don't know when I will. So this is, you know, this is the workstation. This is the pilot's seat. And this pilot needs to always be reminded to hit record when she does Zoom sessions, because otherwise she will get carried away within the session and just forget. And there's some cards left over from today where I did a Oracle full moon reading in my membership site. This is a really interesting deck that some of you might have, the Creativity Oracle, that the cards are all tapestry. Madwitch, if you're watching, I think you would really, as a sewer, you would really, really love this deck. And then so it's all collage and it's sewn, and I don't know how it's done. I really don't know how it's done. And then the messages on the back of the card, so you don't always have to go to the book. It's good in a group setting when you're doing a group reading like what I do in my membership. And I used Rebecca's Starseed deck this morning as well, which is a really interesting deck actually. I kind of really like it. I haven't used it for a long time. I don't understand the Starseed world, but I know that many people are very, very taken with it, and the imagery is beautiful and all that jazz. Yeah, so that is my studio. It's not officially, you know, a sacred space like the Witchy Cottage is, but just like Madwitch, all of me spills over into all areas of my life, and I'm done with dividing myself up, like, you know, on YouTube. I love the way that Madwitch did a sewing sewing video, you know, and doesn't have a channel specifically for sewing, because, you know, if people are not interested, then they'll just won't watch that particular video. I don't see that we have to divide ourselves into all sorts of different categories, or twist ourselves all out of shape, or exhaust ourselves with too many platforms. You know, you come to I Found a Fox and you get me and all the aspects of me. Again, I used to hide myself, you know, my author side, and keep that as a business or work. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I really don't. I'm too old for that. I'm too old to not be entirely myself. I really am. So I'm just backing up a little bit here. So you can see out the window there that you can see down to the Witchy Cottage, and you can see that very, very dry post-summer yard, which has had a little bit of rain overnight, which is very, very exciting. And when someone's asked for a garden tour again, and I will do a garden tour. I just want it to get a little bit more lush and a little bit more green. Again, ironically, as Owlvine says, you know, winter is our time of lushness. Winter, mid-autumn into winter, is when everything becomes, in Australia, becomes very green and very lush, and there's much more beauty to look at and to share. So I will wait for the garden to get a bit more green before I go wandering out there with you guys. Okay, I think that's just about my little room in a capsule, my little lean-to room in a capsule. This has been a fun thing to do, and I've really enjoyed sharing with you. And thank you for coming on this journey with me. It's been cool. Okay, see ya.